Anthony Dutcher here from Vix Media Group, the agency that helps you scale your business faster. Here to talk to you today about a heated topic, one that is make or break for businesses, and that is reviews. I'm getting great reviews. How do I take advantage of them? I've got bad reviews. What do I do with them? I look like shit online. What do I do? Anthony, tell me. Well, first, I'm going to take it a step back and really analyze these review platforms. What are consumers looking for? What are people that are coming to your business website want to see? And what do they see on review platforms if they're looking at it? I'll preface with starting that someone that had a bad experience is much more enticed to leave a bad review about their experience to try and find a resolve or let other people know to be wary about a business. It's important that you get back to these people. And on the flip side, it's a lot harder to get someone with a good experience to leave a review. So it's important that you're reaching out to them. But let's focus on the negative and how to best optimize around those. So here I'm looking at a search for rechargeable AA batteries. What is being pushed by Google in the sponsored Merchant Center ads, shopping ads, as well as just Amazon just dominating the search. Amazon everywhere you go. No one's going down here, so don't worry about it. And now I myself have bought a couple of these to test and see, and actually became an agitated consumer when I bought this specific Power Owl and they wouldn't charge. The rechargeable batteries would not charge. Go figure. How does that happen? So, I got a little upset and I came over to Amazon where I purchased them, and you can see why I purchased them. 4.4 out of 5, almost 12,000 ratings, endless purchases, 3,000 purchases in the past month alone. I'm like, why do these batteries not work? Well, what am I doing wrong here? Of course, so I searched them, could not find much about them besides a clunky website that's probably not doing a whole lot. Really just something to show face. It's not even on a SSL. And then Walmart, of course, is pushing them as well. I looked around there, not a whole lot to look for. So I worked it back a step. Where did I purchase? I haven't even bought two because I thought I was the one with the issue. And I went down to the ratings. Let's actually look at these customer reviews. Well, I'll stop by saying if you anchor, the reviews normally anchor you down. And it's like, oh my God, these look great. Everything is checked. It's hella 5 stars. Everything looks good. Don't judge by the first charge. All right, I tried this. This looks amazing. But let's look at most recent. It is just a slaughterhouse here of bad reviews. So we as consumers are getting pushed by more profitable products by Amazon in hopes that, things work and go well. And it's just not, this is actually my review. I left a video. So what does this tell us? Amazon is pushing products that they know they make more profit on and have scale of sales. What is that best for the consumer? Is that the best product? Granted, your Duracell batteries at Walmart or Walgreens or CVS are probably a little more expensive, but that's a brand we know and trust, and they're not being pushed here. Maybe they work better. Something to be cognizant of. If you're a business owner, this is great for you, but is it better for the consumer? Are these people getting replied to? Not at all. I mean, if we look at these reviews, I don't know that Amazon has a reply mechanism, but no one reached out to me when I left the bad one. So there's that. That's Amazon pushing something that's more prioritized to them for profits. Another juicy example here, the BBB. We as marketers kind of have a vendetta against the BBB. They get businesses mixed up wrong. They take the consumer's word to heart, and it's manipulated a little bit based on who is accredited. So the Verizon BBB, you're an upset customer, you got billed too much, your service isn't working as your plan has designated you, your bandwidth is low, things like that. Let's take a look at their profile. BBB has changed a little bit up. Verizon's clearly not paying them for much. They're accredited, but the profile is not branded. There's no logos. They have a 1.09 out of 5. But here we go, the saving grace. They're A+ accredited business. Let's look at some of these complaints, though. 4,000 complaints in recent time. 1,500 complaints closed in the last 12 months. Quite a few, but for a giant that is Verizon, I'd actually say this is quite low. And if we go through the complaints, we can see they're marked as resolved. Even if a customer isn't satisfied with a complaint, as long as it's responded to, the BBB takes that into account, and it usually does not affect a rating. So the company uses deceptive business practices to lock people into contracts. We all know this with the internet companies, internet providers, but it was answered. Good afternoon. After reviewing the case for blah, 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 always anonymized, address their concerns, a healthy reply. I mean, Verizon has done a lot here. And maybe it's just a disgruntled customer that didn't read into the terms too much. Who does? But Verizon has done what they should here. And that's what's really important. What I don't like is that there's reviews and accreditation ratings within the BBB. And this can create turmoil. This is based around other factors. Reviews do not influence that. But if there's that many reviews, there's something sus going on. Don't you agree? The BBB often weighs marketing practices, is everything front and center on the website, and they don't always investigate this unless there's means to, because there's way too many businesses out there. So we give that to the BBB. But we as marketers can often become quite disgruntled if we're accredited and they're giving us an F because of some customer said something and then their team looked into it, and it can just be mayhem back and forth because they're a nonprofit, they're not business owners. But we also, as consumers, come to think as the BBB as a government entity, and they're not. Google will often make you link to a BBB to confirm an ad account or some kind of suspicion has flagged on Google, and they want to link to the BBB. So we're giving the BBB a lot of weight, and they do good in some areas. Where they don't do great is this discrepancy between reviews and rating. And one big one, Smile Direct Club, who bankrupt sometime last year, September of 2023, no longer rated, had lots of complaints, and for other reasons you can investigate on your own. There were red flags for this business all over this page. This is the account now. But let's look right before they filed for bankruptcy and became not accredited. I used our handy dandy Wayback Machine, shout out Wayback, to see what their profile looked like last year before they went out of business. They had an A+ rating. It's not red, so it's hard to see. Maybe why would I even look at that? A pending government action against this agency, still an A+. So many complaints. A decent review rating if we go through and read the complaints, though. They're all resolved, and healthy replies here. So they were doing all they could, answered, quote unquote, resolved. Maybe the customer wasn't satisfied with it, but they answered it. So they did what they had to preserve their reputation, because who's really coming to the BBB first? It's normally when you have a problem. But granted, some companies, when you search them before the BBB, you're going to actually see the BBB pop up. Oftentimes, a small business will have its BBB company profile ranked quite highly, and it can crush you when right behind your main website is your BBB, and people then are maybe enticed to click that first before making a buying decision. And if you're not accredited or you haven't viewed this profile, you could have an F rating just sitting there because of some complaints that aren't responded to. Is that right? Do I agree with it? Not necessarily. For consumers, it can protect them, but it can also destroy a business. So here I'm searching for the common wellness brand Hims. It's tucked away, but they have their BBB rating here in this about discovery section that Google is showing. And great profile. They're protecting their brand. If I go to read the complaints, resolve, response, short, and I would probably extend that a little bit. We'll look at Hims a little bit later. They're probably doing the least. If I'm a customer, I'm like about to make a buying decision with Hims, and I read that's not too enticing for me. You can see they're resolving. Let's look at one more, a competitor of Hims, Roman Company, BBB. Not great reviews for Row. Let's just verify that this is them, Row.co. Yes, sir. An A+ rating, 7 years in business. Everything's getting answered. Terrible reviews. So maybe push some reviews, some good reviews to BBB. I can't condone this. I know Yelp doesn't like you to push users to them. I don't know what BBB says. I do believe you can request reviews from the platform directly, but businesses should be getting this up. It would only take a handful, 10, 25 stars of good customers to get this rating up. That matters. We love stars. We love stars as consumers. An A+ and 1.1 out of 5 stars, it doesn't look great. Here's a bigger one. AT&T, 16,502 complaints closed in the last 12 months. A- rating, not accredited. They say, fuck you, BBB. We don't want to pay for this. We don't need it. Terrible review rating, though. Here's where BBB can really hurt a business that probably doesn't even know this exists because someone went and left this review. And here's a tribe called Duke's Holloway Service here in Colorado. They've got a fat F with no complaints and one bad review. That's fantastic, isn't it? That's not great for a business that's been around for 6 years, clearly has a website and a phone number, probably operational. And if one person found this could just absolutely crush their reputation and a buying decision. When I go to their Facebook, which is manipulable in a degree, they have great recommendations and people are replying to them. Maybe Facebook is weird with their reviews. Not as many people come here anymore. Their comments aren't available for me to see. But hey, a good reputation, great reviews on Facebook, great reviews on Yelp, they're on Nextdoor, they're doing great. They probably don't even know this exists. And this is where I consider BBB to be a little bit of over leveraging themselves in this, what they are. They've stamped an F on this business for one bad review and no complaint visible right now. Maybe it's coming and it's currently processing. It's just not fair. Well, this is a hefty review. It looks kind of legit. Who's to say? Who's to say? I can't click through to their profile to see what kind of reviews they've had left in the past. Anyways, that is the BBB function. One brand killing it on the BBB. And I will preface by saying that it's one of the only platforms where every location determines your listing. So Pennsylvania will have its own, different than Colorado. I believe they're broken up by general regions. So the DC one can cover Virginia and Maryland and DC, Colorado, and like a Midwest one. But 1-800-JUNK, marketing geniuses, always love to shout them out. You know, they have their Pennsylvania one, A+, great reviews, very few complaints. Even this one that they haven't accredited themselves with in New York, a decent B rating. Here's another example of a Cairo in Denver that probably doesn't know this exists. They have a C+ rating, no review, 2 complaints that's actually been closed, and you can close complaints on the BBB without an accredited account. Totally. You just have to make sure to claim your account. I guarantee this is weighing down this rating because they just don't know much about it. They answered a complaint back in 2022, but this one in 2023 went unanswered. Not ideal. Is the BBB doing anything to get in front of these business owners so that they know they have a C+ or an F just sitting there like a sore thumb? This company's been in business for 15 years. And they're sitting on that C+ that could influence a buying decision. Clearly, they have a website that's functional and is being used. Probably a very real, legitimate business doing great things. And the BBB isn't practicing fair business practices on them. Let's look at another popular platform that's gained immense popularity in years, only focused around reviews and not just complaints and things of that nature, is Trustpilot. So I went through and found a credit union that was ranked highly on their search. It was like #1 in banks. Trustpilot does very good. I like the relevancy of ranking them opposed to Amazon. They're not just pushing them for profits. You can, and I'll show you later, get to bad reviews on most relevant. This company's doing great. Do Good Credit Union, 4.9 out of 5. I really can't even find a bad review, even in most recent. There's one review from Ethiopia here. I think this is a Texas business. That's weird. That kind of looks growth hacked to me, maybe not authentic. Maybe Trustpilot will pick that up. But this is a business doing very good and taking their reviews to heart. Here's another one, Roman Company, who I shared earlier. Looks good at first, the first few scrolls of most relevant, but then, a little bit of turmoil and they're not replying at all. There are just no replies. Those replies can be so important for a consumer to see that their voice is heard. What is relevance opposed to most recent? I'm not sure. You can upvote reviews as long as you have a Trustpilot account. So maybe there's some upvoting factor, but Rose just doesn't care. They're not replying to any of these. They're verified. I don't know that means they're paying for it necessarily outright. They've at least claimed their profile. They just stopped replying. And then Hims, who I showed earlier, similar to Roe, but at least replying, and they're just doing the least with these replies. Reply to all reviews, good or bad. It just shows character and who you are. It's important. This guy is literally saying, Shady, you don't get any notice that the product will be auto-renewed until after they ship. I don't know how any other product that I use where you don't at least get some form of notification ahead of renewal in Great Britain. So they're multinational. And on that piece of multinational, I looked for pet stores in Denver. Here's Pet World, a huge business. If I'm really looking for reviews of a company and I go to Pet World, yeah, there you go. So Pet World reviews here on Trustpilot outside of their GMB, which is exceptional. It's actually the IE, which I believe is the Ireland version of their site. And all these reviews are as well. So something to keep in mind. You can see the little location tag here indicating an Ireland review. And it's hard to tell if these are real or not. There is the verified tag that Trustpilot appends somehow. I think if a review was requested or if you now need to support with a receipt, so things can't be growth hacked as easily and manipulated, which is really good on Trustpilot to have. So So maybe you're a consumer and you'd never even see that this is the Ireland version of the site. Is that helpful? That is Trustpilot. And just kudos to this brand for their GMB because this is exceptional. They've got shots in there, great reviews. I really love when you can actually take a tour of the location in the Google Maps with the 3D shots. Drone capabilities can make that really fun. But this is a fun profile. I'd like to see maybe a logo. The owner hasn't uploaded anything. In GMB, you can upload your logo and your cover image so you look exceptional. Maybe that would help them stand out and get more clicks there. But anyways, the point of this video is reviews, and they are crushing it there, even if their Ireland location is showing it is when you search Pet World. Well, upon digging further, actually Pet World Lakewood, who I should have clicked through to, is a completely different brand than the Irish Pet World here, but maybe the consumer wouldn't know that. Maybe that would help you. Shout out to both of them for doing great. And you as a consumer still can learn more about that experience. Now to the last one in GMB, probably the most influential of all of them for branded searches. Google is always going to prioritize, the local search and the map pack. Here they're showing a hospital Denver search. I have a few here, but let's look at the reviews itself. Oh, that picture is grotesque. I doubt Presbyterian St. Luke's Medical Center has someone on marketing to be able to update this to add a logo. It's looking good though. When I actually go to the reviews, similar to other platforms, it's showing us most relevant. Oh, someone is monitoring this. Replying to good reviews, super important. This place looks amazing. You can go to newest here, and this is where we always find the bad ones. No, they're doing great. They're doing really good. They get a lot of reviews of replying to everything. I like to put an email, hey, reply for more information. You can direct communicate through these platforms, but providing some kind of support there directly or calling to reference is important. And if you get a local guide to review, even better. You're just going to really boost the credibility because those index normally most. You can look at lowest, maybe search keywords of things you're looking for, and highest. And I go with this to say that Hospital Denver is searched. Say Joe specifically is searched over 2,000 times a month. Children's Hospital over 1,300. Very competitive, only for the big dogs to rank here, but decent little search volume. So these reviews matter when I go to search for a business or a service or anything of that sort. Intermountain's #1 because of optimization, but lower review rating, much less total. Rose Medical Center is out here crushing it with 5,000 reviews and a 4.6. Profile looks amazing. It's elegant. I would want to go here versus that sketchy waiting room in St. Luke's. Okay, so what does it all mean, Anthony? How do I make sense of this? What do I do with my reviews? It comes down to just a few simple elements. Reply to all reviews, good or bad. Take them to heart. Claim your profiles. You can't be having things fly under the radar. Partner with a marketing firm that can help you get to these places and monitor this on an ongoing basis. Sure, there's tech platforms out there like the Bright Locals and the Yext of the world. Have an employee, have an agency be on top of this. You can take advantage of it. A good review can make someone come to you if you're making testimony out of that. Do your best as your business. Serve your customers right. Reply to what you can. You have the bandwidth to do it. These are the people that make you thrive. As always, scale your business faster with Vix. I'm Anthony, signing off.